Welcome back to another week's video. In this one, I kind of want to talk about purpose. The whole idea of going out to take photographs with a purpose. Myself and many other photographers talk about going out with a camera no matter where you are, always trying to have a camera with you because you never know when the good opportunity for a shot will come into mind. And you might see something really good going on, and having a camera to take a photograph of that is important, but I still think that there is a necessity to go out with a purpose. Don't just go out for the thoughts of, oh, I might as well take it. Because sure, that will work. You will go out with a camera, but you might not be looking for those shots. You might just be blasé and things will slip past you and you won't notice. If you go out with a purpose and an idea on what you want to capture or an idea of capturing something, that will help you with your images. Whether you want to improve your hit rate, whether you want to focus on telling a story, all of those things, having a purpose in mind while doing so will help with that. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. The first thing and why you should go out with a purpose is because it will help tell a story. If you're going out traveling or if you're going out into your city and you want to take photos, photos are great to work on their own, but you should really think about working those photos into sets and collections of images. Have photos that can tell a story together. And that will work by capturing a bunch of different images around the same topic. So if I go out into London, for example, I will take photos of varying things, whether it be an overarching subject tree like the skyline or anything like that. I will capture the everyday snaps, which is the big bulk of it, but then I'd also capture finer details like a chair that is being lit by light really nicely, or a coffee cup in the road. All of those things that are like detail shots, or a poster falling off a wall or something like that. And piecing those all together creates a story. It gives the person that is viewing the photos and yourself when you're looking back on them an idea like, wow, that really tells a story on that location. That really gives me an idea on what this location's like. For example, in a few weeks, I will be going to Egypt, and then from there, other countries in the Middle East. So, starting off with Egypt, I will be looking for an overarching theme. So, the desert in Cairo, for example. I will then be capturing my everyday shots like people in the bazaar, shadows, silhouettes, shapes, all that sort of stuff. And then I'll look for detail, maybe a bike mirror or a dog on the floor just chilling out. Little things like that. And then piece them all together. And then when you're scrolling through them, you'll see the pyramids, you'll see big bazaar markets and a grand overarching picture. But then you'll also see people and what they're doing. And then you'll see the intricate details like a spice market, just like and close up of the spices or something like that. And it really pieces it all together. If you're just going out to take photos without a purpose and without thinking of something like that, then your photos aren't going to flow and they aren't going to merge together to tell a good story. That's one of the reasons you should go out with a purpose. Another reason is, to be honest, if you want to improve your hit rate, you should do that as well. If you're going out and you're getting 500 photos taken and you're basically formatting your SD card whenever you come back, sure, that's okay. You're going to get days like that. But if it's consistent, maybe there's a reason for that. And maybe that reason is you are lacking purpose when going out and taking photos. So for me, when I'm going out on an everyday walk, I'll think to myself, what do I want to capture today? I'll have a goal in mind. I might even challenge myself to take a photo. And that purpose will help me look for shots, help me find shapes and shadow and silhouette and all that sort of stuff and light. And then I will work those scenes more rather than me just walking along, taking photos as I go of people walking down the street. To me, I don't find that interesting. So when I get home after a day of doing that, I will basically Control A, delete, done. Start again next week, sort of thing. You don't want that to be a consistent thing. You want to be able to go, I'm proud of that image, and sort of build your collection and your portfolio over time. Each time you go into London, at least, or each time you go into a place, come away with one, at least. So for me, when I go into London, I will have a purpose to get one good photo. I will challenge myself and I will go, I would really like this light to stay around. I'm going to try and find a cut through shape and a doorway, maybe an old timey building, and someone walking through an archway wearing red or something like that and having a pop of color, and I would picture that image in my head, and that would be my purpose for the day. Going around, taking photos, and trying to find that. If I didn't have that, then I will be just scrambling to find a shot and being disappointed when I don't find anything. From there, I can then go back to my previous point and talk about building a collection of images to form a set. So once I've got that image that I wanted, I'll think about other things that complement that. So if the theme is a person in red walking through an archway, then I'll find other pops of red. For example, a red bus in London, a post box, stuff like that, to make it work together. A few of my images, for example, if you flick on my Instagram or on my website, they flow because of the light or because of the silhouettes that are in the images. So I'll piece together nighttime shots based on silhouettes or based on various types of lighting. So if I'm in Soho and I'm capturing the neon, then I will work that into a set and capture loads of different neon signs and different subjects around them. Same with daytime shots, like I said, with the color and the light. I will try and do that as much as possible. Not only is it going to give the people that you're potentially showing these images to a better understanding on what you're taking photographs of, but it also gives you a great thing to look back on and go, oh, that fits really nicely together, or oh, that looks really good. There's your purpose, and that's important. So going back on the whole, what I tend to do when I go out and take photos on, I talked about challenging myself, and that is what I do quite a lot as well, whether it be trying to take myself out of my comfort zone. Like in last week's video, I photographed Brick Lane. I never go there because I never photograph the grunginess of London, but being able to do that and just take yourself out of your comfort zone for various different reasons, whether you like photographing, the hustle and bustle and walking around and snapping as you go, do the opposite. Try out something different. That being your purpose and actually going out for that specific reason will make you think on a completely different level and make you a more varied photographer as well. It's so much good saying, I'm great at capturing people on the fly, walking down the street, capturing the action. But what if you don't have that? What if you don't have any option? What if the city is absolutely dead quiet and you don't have that hustle and bustle? Then you're going to be taking photos of nothing and you're not going to enjoy the day. And that is the most important thing. I always say it, capturing photos and enjoying it while you're doing it is the most important thing. So being able to capture varied environments and varied things, whether it be busy, slow, silhouette, shapes, or people and action, it's important to know the basics on doing it all. So if you go out with an idea in mind, like I'm going to challenge myself and go to this place that I've never been before, or go and capture on a style that I've never done before, it will work good for you. Another thing, of course, is to try and better yourself in any way you possibly can, and that can be your purpose. I'm always challenging myself and challenging what I've done previous. Not because I don't think my old shots are good, it's that I think I can do better. And that's not a bad thing. Always challenging yourself to either better an image that you've already created or better the shots that you got from a specific area. That is a good driving factor for a lot of people, always bettering themselves in one form or another. It doesn't even have to be photography. Going out and doing something better than you've done before. Think of skateboarding or sports or something like that. I'm talking skateboarding more specifically because last week when I was last in the city, I was watching a skateboarder around Bank and they were jumping off the steps of the Exchange. And that's quite a few steps, and they kept falling over. They kept doing it. They kept falling over, getting back up and doing it again and repeating that until they got it. And it took them a while, but they did it. And that is always, the idea of going out and doing something and trying better than you did last time. And eventually, you'll nail it. And that's always a good purpose to have, always a good bit of motivation to give yourself. And I find that giving yourself one form of motivation or a purpose is so much better than just going out and going, I don't know what I'm going to get today. Don't really care. I'm just going to go out and take photos, because You can do that, sure. It's important to just go out and shoot, but practice and all that sort of stuff and trying to better yourself and everything that I've talked about so far is also really important to do. So you're going out to take photos, but you're going out for this reason. You're going out because you want to do this, or you're going out because you want to get this. You're going out because you want to explore a new area and all of those sorts of things. Don't just go out for the sake of it because you probably won't enjoy it, and don't force yourself to do it, because if you can't be bothered, then you ain't going to be bothered when you're out either. So it's important to have that in the back of your mind. I'm going to better myself, or I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. It works better. You could also better your hit rate and going out with a purpose after you've planned your route. I always try and plan my route and try and think of an area to go whenever I'm shooting, but more so when I'm in new locations. I'll do a hell of a lot of research and plan my route and whereabouts I'm going to be each day. And then I'll go out with a purpose based on what I've seen on Google Street View or something like that, or other people's photographs that I've seen in that area. I'll go out and be like, oh, that's a cool location. I'll see what I can get there. And that'll be my purpose, just to see what I can get, explore, and find out if there is any hidden details and scenes. And then combining that with my whole idea of thinking as a bulk collection of images rather than thinking of your images individually, it creates a nice collection of moments and a good thing to look back on. And then you can be like, ah, I remember being there. That was nice. And this sort of happened, rather than, oh yeah, I took that photo. That was in that place. They're two completely different mentalities. And then lastly, other people can be your purpose. I have very much been a person that takes photographs as a sole photographer. I've never been out with other photographers so much, especially lately. It's not a bad thing, but being able to bounce off of other people, or being able to bounce off other people's photos, is really valuable. And going back to challenges, having other people challenge you to get a certain image. So they might go, you're in this area, get this, this, and this. And then you try your hardest to get them. If you don't get them, don't beat yourself up about it. But it's a good idea to get out and have something in mind. And I feel like other people can give you that motivation. Even if you give each other friendly competition, like, oh, I'm going to get this shot better than you're going to get this shot, or something like that. And it's even better when you can photograph with people that do different styles. So for me, if I'm photographing silhouettes and shapes and shadow, if I go out with someone that's trying to capture the subject, you've got the scene and you're working the scene together, but you're getting completely different shots. And that's also quite good, because then you've not got in the back of your mind, oh, he's just following me around to steal what I'm getting. Shouldn't be the case, but people do think like that. And being able to bounce off of other people and just have a vibe while you're out is great. The whole idea of having a purpose is important, and I don't think people talk about it too much. Having a purpose when you're going out should be something that everyone has, whether it be bettering yourself or trying to think in sets and all that sort of stuff. Just going out for a reason rather than just going out will help you in your photography journey. Something that I've been doing more and more lately, and I feel like my photos, although I'm getting fewer shots taken, my hit rate's improved and all of those things. So hopefully this video has gave you something to think about. If it did, a like's always appreciated. Subscribe for weekly photography content. See you next week. Bye-bye.